Okay, welcome. This is Monday morning or Monday afternoon on May the 21st, 2018. And I'm coming to you from outside Kerrville, Texas, where it's cloudy and a beautiful temperature. And I welcome everybody today, Roseanne and Shelby, Shirley and Ann, and Connie and Linda. Glad to have you folks on the call. I was wondering if anybody would like to share something that they did or had any event or activity that you'd like to share from last week?
Well, I emailed you in my text this morning. I had told you about a regular member that came by to pick up her vitamins last week, and she's never used our skincare. And so when she came in and we were talking, and she said, Shelby, she said, your skin. She said, your makeup. I said, I don't have makeup on. I said, it's our new skincare, our youth products. I'd sent information to her about the skincare, but she had never used it. And she said, well, I want the complete set. And it just thrilled me that, she's been gets from her niece who sells Mary Kay. So anyway.
Oh, that's cool, Shelby. Congratulations.
I love the skincare. I do. Of course, I love all of Shackley's products. But I never had anyone to just come right out and that had never used any of our skincare and tell me she wanted all of it.
Wow. Now, for those of you that don't know Shelby, aren't you close to 80?
Do what?
Aren't you close to 80?
I am 80. I'll be 81 in September.
And she's always looked very pretty. As far as I'm concerned, her skin was lovely, but this must really be putting a glow on her. I can't wait to see you again, Shelby. Congratulations.
Well, I just, like I said, I've got a lot of compliments, and I just thank the Lord that I'm the age I am and still alive and still able to go.
Yes, this is a sad kind of a thing. I was looking at the website or the web page that was created for the graduating class for me back in 1969, 65, and it just seems like it's so full of obituaries, and so those folks might be about 70, and I just feel so sad because we feel blessed with our good health, and others have just not had that kind of life, and we have a lot to be thankful for, don't we?
Yes, we do. We sure do.
Anybody else wish to share something that they've been doing?
Well, Phyllis, I'll share with you. I'm working. This is Shirley. I had a friend to call me just days ago, and I've been working with her. I tried to contact her sometime back about Shackley, but of course, it wasn't the timing wasn't right. So she calls me and said that she wished she had listened the first time, but now she's got a lot of health problems.
Oh,
and
dear.
So she was willing to listen, and we signed her up with the $150 order. And I've been working with her every day, make sure she's, doing the right thing. She wanted to detox first. So I'm having a lot of success with that, detox.
Yeah. That's a great thing if a person has never taken supplements. You need to stay close to them, which sounds like you are, because there'll be some discomfort. But if they can do that first, I've always heard that it really helps you to do better with your supplements when you get started on your program.
Right. I am working with her every day. And then I had 2 people from the church to go on the detox program. And one of the ladies lost 8 pounds on the program. So, word of mouth, it does get around, and people, when they have success, they share it.
Yes. Isn't that wonderful? That's great. Well, congratulations, Shirley.
Thank you.
Story to hear. Well, I did something that I had never, ever done before last week. A week ago Saturday, did I tell you about the vet yet? If I did, I won't repeat myself. Did I talk about that? No? Okay. Well, a week ago Saturday, I think it was, we took our dogs to get their rabies shots, and this vet will come to the Atwoods parking lot, and your dog stays in the car, and he gives the shots right there, so you don't even have to get out, except just to hold your puppy. So anyway, when we got through, we got home. Jim put the little tag on, like you're supposed to put on the dog collar, and we were walking a couple days later, and no tag on the collar. So we looked around everywhere we go on our walk, and it wasn't on the street anywhere. So I called him and asked if he'd send us another one. He said, yes, send me money and send me the name and we'll send it to you. So I got all that ready. It was out in the mailbox, and I went out in the patio for something, and there's the tag laying right there. So I picked up the tag, Jim put it back on, and I opened up the letter because I was, I'm going to save the envelope and reuse it because it has a stamp on it. And then I'm thinking to myself, So I take out what was in there, and I write him a little note and said, when I talked to you, I should have mentioned or should have asked you what you are doing to maintain your good health. And then I talked about Shackley a little bit and put our contact information in our newest newsletter. So I have never been that brave before, but I was real tickled I did. I haven't heard from him, and I may never, but I planted a seed.
Mm-hmm.
And, maintaining your good health is a really important thing if you want to keep up with your business. So I'm going to try to be open and watching for more opportunities like that, because I just feel like we have so much to share, and I'm so thankful that we do.
Well, good for you, Phyllis.
Thank you. You'd think after being in Shackley 45 years that I would be doing a lot of that, but I'm just getting my, what is it James says, my posture? Is that the word he uses?
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
Can't think of that. Posture doesn't sound right.
Maybe it's your mojo.
Yeah, my mojo.
But I think it is your posture from the inside out. The belief is matching up with what your knowledge has been. It's beginning to come out in the way you handle yourself and all of that.
Okay, good. So my mojo and my posture are all working together. Thank you.
Sounds like a powerful bundle.
Yeah, scary. Well, they'll never know that Shacky's out there if nobody tells them. So I'm just doing my part. You don't know where the newsletter will wind up. So maybe, I tell you, the health quest this month was extra good. We haven't mailed it. We'll do it when we get back next week. But I hope you'll enjoy reading it. It talks about several different products and the incredible ingredients that they have, and also some stories about how Shackley is so particular about making sure that what we have is organic and everything. And of course, as always, you probably noticed that on the back side of the newsletter, they always have all the references. So if you don't believe what he's saying, you can go look at the scientific research yourself. And I just really admire the folks that do that newsletter and the effort they put into it to give us quality information, without it being too technical. It's just really good stuff. So look for it next week, and I hope that you will enjoy it. Okay, does anybody have anything you wish to say before I share screen for just a minute?
Well, there's someone I made contact with at the Senior Health and Fitness Fair that we have in our community at the end of May every year. And every year, this will be my third year to do this, and every year I make like one contact that it turns out to be a really good product user or whatever. And this past year, it took me till January, but a lady who was interested in natural cleaners signed up as a qualified distributor, and slowly but surely we've been moving along here. And she had an event at our church and asked that I would put up a Shackley table because she herself was actually running the event and wouldn't have time to stay at a table. And so from that, and she sponsored no one herself, but she, anyway, there was a lady who stopped by who was interested in the skincare, and actually we did a skincare thing on her. I did, and she bought the whole youth kit and became a preferred member. And so Angela, who was out of town at the time that this lady could come, so she wasn't a part of that. And I invited Angela over, and Angela said, well, I don't know if I can do this. And I said, well, why don't you come by and we'll visit? And so I showed her how that this month she had 192 points from this youth kit that was purchased. And then she has like 3 other interested people from that event that I've been visiting with. And she goes, she said, why don't you just keep those people, because I really don't know what to do. And it was at that point I was able to show this triangle that we've been learning about, where we're at the top, and we're A at the top, and our builder is B, and their friend or customer, whoever, is C. And I drew that out, and I said, okay, so let me show you how this works, because you don't have to know everything at all. I said, this is me at the top, and here's you, and here's your friend. So what you do is you connect me with your friends, and then we visit, like I've been visiting with you. We talk about Shackley and what they're interested in, and then we help them make a decision about what they might like to use and try. And I said, if you do this 20 times, 20 to 30 times, you'll be making close to $1,000 a month. And she was just like, and I said, and by the time we do it 20 times, you'll be able to do it yourself. And it was just like all this confusion drained from her face. Something she was wanting but had no idea how to go about making it happen for herself. And so that's the first time I've used the triangle, and with a with someone who didn't know about, where I could use it to explain how we could share Shackley with her friends. And I was so thankful to have that little triangle, because it just did a world of good for her. And I can see her being able to move forward now. So anyway.
So now you're waiting for her to bring a friend for you to talk to, huh?
Well, we have some of the people from this event that we need to make appointments with. And yes, and she is making a list. She started naming people even while we were sitting there. So she's making a list, and we're I said we can do this one-on-one, or she's mentioned maybe having a little brunch or something like that, because she loves events and entertaining. I'm starting to pick up on that, because she is so incredibly busy doing those things for her church or for the community center. So she's in the middle of a lot of stuff. And so having an event of some kind doesn't bother her. Her problem is her schedule, because she works like 5 part-time jobs to get the income that she needs. And so being able to tailor, fitting Shackley in, and she is fitting Shackley in. Every time I ask her to meet, she meets. I mean, we work with her schedule, and she shows up. So anyway, I'm just excited. I was just thrilled to have a tool that would work for me, that would really, I could really use, that was simple, so.
Very simple. And like I thought that was wonderful. You told her after she'd done it 20 times, she'd be able to do it herself,
Yes, and then I drew. What I did is I drew the, like, me at the top, and 2 sticks and 2 circles showing a coordinator thing. And I said, and I told her, I said, for 40 years I've had people that I've been, who've been using the products, and they sign up and they become members. And actually my organization looks like this. And I drew one of those octopus looking things. I don't know if you've ever drawn one of those for this group, Phyllis. The one that James draws.
Looks like a feather duster, actually.
Yes, whereas you're at the top and you've got all these people hanging off of you.
Yes.
And I said, this is how my group looks right now. And I said, that's okay. I make about $1,000 a month from this. But I said, what is more powerful is if I had grouped people together. And if I had understood the idea of being a coordinator, and then training people to take care of their group instead of this big thing, this thing I'm trying to manage myself. And she said, oh, you need to be strategic. We need to be strategic when we put my group together. And I went, yes. And I went, oh my God. I said, and you could tell she understood that.
Yeah.
And I thought, why did it take me 40 years to understand this? But boy, she got it in like 40 seconds.
That's funny.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful, Linda.
I know. And it didn't, my concern is people see that once you start drawing circles and sticks and these people are down here and these people are doing this and you get that, then sometimes people think, oh, this is where you get the bad side of network marketing. Do you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
Anybody understand what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's not what she saw at all. She saw that this is a way that, because organization, she's an organized person. And so this is a way to organize. I said, mine is disorganized, and but she saw the benefit of grouping people like this so that they could work together. And then you're helping groups instead of just one person after another. So anyway,
She's so busy, Linda, that probably is something she could latch onto, where she could see if she worked with one or two, and then they worked with one or two, then she wouldn't be overwhelmed.
yes. And anyway, I was so pleased, and she was excited when she left, and I was so glad, because usually people are bewildered, and because I was bewildered, I didn't understand it. I mean, all these years, and I think part of it is because I was never around anyone to see it modeled.
Yeah.
I didn't know the power of building in depth, and not just for me, but for all these people, all these that are a part of my group, that if I had known these little parts, I could have helped them build something.
Yeah.
And so it's not too late. I can still help people build things, but it would have been nice if I had been doing that all along. So,
well, you could even practice that presentation with some of the people you already have, and you could approach it like, if you know somebody who might be interested in building, here's all they have to do. And so then you could practice some of your 20 times too, huh?
Well, that's kind of what is happening with some of my downline, is that they're starting to. I have one, a friend, Kathleen, who was my neighbor, who loved the products and shared with her sisters, who share, now their daughters. It's 3 generations of people using Shackley, and her group is looking like my octopus looking group. But I've been talking to her, and we're trying to work on that. We're trying to help those who are interested in more build properly. And so they're going to the convention, she and one of her daughters, and I'm very excited about that. I think that'll be a real turning point for them to see Shackley as the big picture.
That's great, Linda. What's her daughter's name?
Holly.
Holly. Okay.
She has 3, and Holly's the one that's going with us.
Okay. Well, that's just super. I'm so excited. I love to hear all these good stories. I'm glad you found a way that triangle works, because as you are talking about that, you never had anybody model it for you. Well, now you can see a way that you can model it for others, and they can bring a friend and do it together, and it'll be exciting. I think that's so nice.
Well, and I was able to just say it like it was just the most natural thing. And this is how we do this. This is how we do Shackley. It's simple. We'll just do this. And and I thought, wow, I'm just so thankful. I'm so thankful to have learned that little piece.
That is super. That is great. Thank you, Linda. That's uplifting to all of us, I'm pretty sure. If anybody else wants to talk, go ahead. Otherwise, I have a couple things to show you, and then we'll be gone. Okay. while I'm going over here, Roseanne, could you tell us just real briefly how Laurence did with his big bike ride?
Oh, well, he did what he intended to do with the bike ride. That was the end of April, the last Saturday in April.
Okay.
And he did 13 miles because he had not been training for that in any significant way. And he had been working on his documentary film, which premiered last Saturday night.
And how did that go?
Well, it was wonderful. It was just wonderful. But we have been absorbed to the nth degree with that rather than Shackley. But he still, when he goes to the bank, comes back with another person who he's given his card to.
Oh, great. That's wonderful. Now, you guys, this should give us all encouragement, because I know the Beckers are older than I am too. And look at what they're doing. They're not giving up. He's doing bike rides to raise money for charity, and he's an expert in autism, so he's sharing his knowledge, and Shackley works right into that. So that's really, to me, that's exciting that we can live productive, useful lives on as we get older, and we can still be helping other people, which I think is great.
Well, he's good at that. He's very good at that.
That's great. Okay, I just real briefly, I just wanted to bring some things to your attention that maybe you haven't noticed recently, because they're kind of new to me too. So when you're on your main home screen and you go to your new tools, one of the things that comes up will be your this page right here. And you may be aware of it, but at the very top here, it says monthly focus sharing tools. So they've got these 4 or 5 categories here. One's sharing the opportunity, of course, which is always appropriate. And then here are the tools for these various things: the core nutrition, youth, and Shackley 180 and sports nutrition. And I just went on straight on down on this page, and one of the things that I saw that to me was I didn't realize, I guess, that it was here. Let me get down here where it is. They have all these social posts that we can do, which reminds me, Ann, I hope the rest of your week went better. So I think she may be muted, but I hope it went better. Okay, I wanted to bring to your attention these physician letters. I don't know if you guys were aware that they were down here. They all seem to be from Dr. Jamie, but I clicked on a few of them, and I'll show you some that I did, the prenatal. And so here's Dr. Jamie explaining how these different things help a person who's expecting. And then she gives these different resources of where and how they determine that these are the ingredients that should be in our Vitalizer and our Vitali. And I just greatly appreciate the scientific stuff that they give without it being overwhelming. But when you read this, you can see that it was carefully thought out. And I really wonder if you ask any of these other companies that have vitamins at the health food store or at the GNC or whatever, if they would be able to provide information that was this authoritative. I think that would be amazing to know. Okay, and then another one that they have here was on blood pressure. So I clicked on that one, and here she's talking about, again, how these things work together and the products that are in there and with the resources and so forth. So I didn't know if you had something like that or if you knew that those were even there. But if you're working with somebody who might be a little skeptical or might want a little bit more information than you particularly have, this is a good way to provide that information without you having to be an expert or without you having to prescribe. It just puts it right out there for them. I think that was the one that only one I wanted to talk about right there. Are you aware, at least I hope that you are, that there's categories for these? I got down at the bottom, and on my screen it said that there were 6 pages of these, which is pretty overwhelming. So the way to keep from getting overwhelmed is to use your filters over here on this left side where I am right now, and sort down what you want. Let me see, the product. Here they give us our categories, so at least you can isolate it if to what you're trying to work on that time. And then, that's not what I want. Let's go back up here a minute. Oh, the tool type. So if you're looking for, okay, that wasn't exactly that. Look, what a nice language that is. Okay, let's go back over here. I must have clicked on Chinese maybe or something accidentally. Okay, the tool type here is at the very bottom. So if you are looking for a brochure, if you click on that, it'll just show you the ones of the brochures or the FAQs or the health chats or just the info sheets or just the invitations. So that can kind of narrow it down a little bit if you already know what you're looking for. Even down here's the videos and so forth. So all that's useful. Okay, and then one thing I wanted to show you, when I went over here to this tools page, at the very top, I had never seen this before. If you have, I'm proud of you, but I never had. It has the hotline right up here. So you can go and listen to that this month's hotline if you want to. And then over here, it has athletes. So I clicked on that to see, well, what's that all about? And when I got over there, it shows us our Pure Performance team, which will come up here. And then it shows you athletes and so forth for the different games. It shows the team here. And when you click on one, I decided to click on, who was it? Maybe it was Casey. I don't know. We'll click on it. Probably be about the same thing. Then it comes up with a little something that she's written that describes what's going on with her. And you can look at her bio and then her achievements and more information. And so I just think that's really good. And at the bottom, it shows her favorite products. So here she likes the Energy Chews and the Physique and the Joint Complex. So I just really think that that's interesting. So if you know people that are involved in these kind of things or want to know more, it just makes it more interesting and gives you more ammunition, I guess I would call it. So I don't know if anybody has any particular thing that you like to use, but it has the video section here also and your archive of all the library tools plus your Naturally blog, which is always interesting. They're trying to help us, give us all the stuff we need so that we can be successful, and I hope that you're having a chance to use those things.
That's great, Phyllis. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, you know, we all have life, don't we? I don't know about you, but I don't just sit around looking at the member page very often, but I think we should because there's good stuff there for us. So anyway, okay, all right. Well, our time is up. Unless anybody else has anything that they want to share, I'll probably be ready to go here.
I just think it's wonderful you can work your business from a vacation spot. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. Jim said, are you going to have your call today? And I said, yes. Well, you know, why not? I think you're exactly right. It just demonstrates that we can do it nearly anywhere. And we have great Wi-Fi here, so it's working out nicely. So thanks, Linda. That's good. Well, I hope that you guys have a nice week. Not this Wednesday, but the next Wednesday will be our monthly call, you know, from Shackley headquarters. So we'll be looking for that. I had heard a rumor a while back that we were going to have at least one more new product before convention. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm definitely going to be listening on the June the 6th to see what's going to happen. And I hope that you'll be able to join us too. And oh, and also I wanted to mention, if you haven't been listening to the Rick Seymour talks on Facebook on the Shackley Effect, every Tuesday night, I believe it's at 7 Central. Maybe that'd be 8 for you, Shelby. But you can always listen to them later. They're just excellent guys, and Rick is so easy to listen to. So I hope that you'll take advantage of those when you have a few minutes to listen and be inspired and uplifted with some good ideas. Okay, I guess I'm finished, unless anybody else has something to say.
Enjoy your vacation.
Thank you, Shelby. I appreciate that. Okay, same to y'all. And maybe I'll have pictures of all the garden stuff next time. We've started picking now, so it's so much fun to see all that good stuff coming along. So, talk to y'all later. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, Phyllis.
Thank you, Phyllis.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks so much.